Hello, hello, welcome back to TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop. My name's Tony, how are we all? I see Amber's in there, welcome back Amber. Brett, see you're in there mate, thanks for the microphone heads up. All sorted tonight hopefully. And Sam, we'll see you when you get back buddy, no problems at all. So how are we all? We're getting near to the end of the week now. Sorry for my confusion with the dates the other night, but that's what happens when you're retired and you're working in your workshop. You lose track of days, eh? Anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat. Yes, good evening to you all. So tonight we're going to be turning this little beauty here. Well, I hope it's going to be a beauty. It's promising. It's looking promising. This was the one that we'd done with the. I think I used duo, one of the Pearl X colours. I think it was duo red and blue. And then I think we put some colour changing pigment in it as well, but I'm not sure how the colour changing pigment's going to go in it. It does look like there's a little bit of colour change in it when you revolve the blank. I can see some different colours there, but as to how strong it's going to be, I really don't know at this stage. So we'll know once we start turning it though. I think it's still going to be a nice handle. And I'm thinking this one, I'm thinking we're probably going to sink a 28mm cashmere into this one. I just think that the lightness of the cashmere plus the lightness of this blank will be nice. And I think the cashmere will allow to focus the attention on the colours in the handle as well, more than the knot, you know what I mean? So yeah, so let's get stuck into it. I've got my tenon on that end. I've squared off the blank on this end here. So we're ready to start putting our hole in it. As far as shape, I'm thinking of doing the same shape again that I've done on the last couple of handles, because I think it will quite suit this as well. So yeah, so we'll see how we go. So that's the plan for tonight, guys. Right, let's get started then, eh? So, I'll set this, oh, I don't need to set it at the moment. We'll start drilling the hole first. That's probably a little bit fast, so we'll slow that down. And then we'll just go in nice and slowly to start with. Ooh. Horrible noise that. Right, so I'm going to wind this back till we get on 10mm now, which is there. We'll bring it in till we touch the end of the blank, which is a bit there, and then we'll take that until we hit about 27. So we'll be setting this one in about 17. Or thereabouts. Come out, come out, come out. Okay. So that should be pretty close there, I think. And I'd say we'll have to open up the hole a bit as well, so take that right back. I'll give the hole a little touch just to take the sharp edge off before we start. So how's your week been, everybody? Are you having a good week so far? How's Amber going in the workshop? Are you smashing through things, Amber? Yep, needs to be opened up a bit, so we'll bring that tool rest in. I know I'm going to have to do some maintenance on the machines over the Christmas period. just get them all oiled up and washed, wiped down clean, and they're getting in a bit of a state. Right, I'm looking for the skew, because I'm going to go in there and just take a little bit off of there to open that up for the nut. And that should do it, I think. I'll be able to let you see some nice behind the scenes shots as well. When Ryan was in the other night, he went around taking a few photographs from different viewpoints and different angles and stuff. So I'll be able to show you a couple of behind the scenes photographs. Now I think that's going to look stunning, and that feels beautiful. And it's not set too deep. I think we've got a loft of about 56, 57 here. Yeah, 56, 57, providing we don't take too much more off the top there. So that'll be nice for that cashmere. So Amber's been pouring resin like crazy. That's excellent, Amber. Oh, Chrissy Crescents, yep, good idea. So you're at home, Brett, tonight for a change. Right, so that's that. So I think we can start setting up for some shaping now. And I'll remember to get this one the right size tonight. The other one's nice actually, even at the size that it's at, but it was a little bit shorter than what I would have liked. So I'm going to try and make sure we get this one right tonight and don't do the old 10mm trick. I should have twigged actually, because when I went to part the bottom, I thought, oh, I've got an awful lot of waste on this blank. I must have made this one longer than the others, and it wasn't. It was me. I'd done the old 10mm trick, you know. Anyway, the handle still looked beautiful, and it still looked in proportion with that knot. Right, we'll bring that into about there. We'll start just cleaning up that top edge a little bit. And I'm going to turn it on an angle like that so I can use the tool better. Don't want too big an angle on it, but certainly some. Not too big a curve, I should say. Right, that's that. And I think I've missed the Christmas rush for getting all my bloody new brushes up on my website. Unless I can get some time over the next day or two. We'll see how we go. Right, so I don't lose my pencil marks, I'm just going to put a little bit of a partner tool mark in there. That'll get me that one. We do need a little bit more speed in the light. And I probably need to bring this back a touch. Now, on this one, that chatter again, so we'll get the tailstock in there in a minute. See how we go with this in there now. It's amazing how much more support the tailstock gives it. I mean, that's what it's for, I guess, but So we're just going to clean up the old marks now. It could be a little bit too high with the tool rest too. That's probably too low now, but I guess it sort of happens too because you're in a scraping action with the skew instead of a cutting action. So I'm actually applying more pressure to the workpiece than what you would normally do if you were in a cutting action as opposed to a scraping action. Yeah, they're becoming a bit of a normal thing nowadays. Car crashes, aren't they, on a lot of the roads? It's crazy. Should be like Singapore, where they limit the amount of cars on the road before it gets too mad. I don't think it would work here in Australia at all because we've got so much ground to cover. It'd be like in the States as well. Okay, I think that might do that section for now. So we'll bring the tool rest out and we will need to lift it up now so we can get the hollowing done under the ring. Well, the ring as I call it. It's really a band, I suppose, or same thing. Okay. Let's make some streamers. Let's make some streamers. Probably needs to go in and up a little bit, I think. Not a lot. That's a ticket. So yes, I'll be interested to see what colours we end up getting out of this one actually. Hopefully we get a bit of the colour changing in it as well as the dual red. Well, the dual red should work for sure, but I've never tried the colour changing ones actually mixed in as a resin and on their own, like in another colour. I've used them on their own and you get that sort of cloudy, glittery, sort of sparkly type affair. And one colour in the colour changing normally takes over the rest. So I'm not sure how it's going to actually go within a casting like this with other colours. But we'll soon find out, I suppose. It's nice when you see the streamers coming off the lathe when you're turning like that and you see the streamers coming off and you put them into slow motion. It's just like a continuous thread as it comes off. So we've had a fair bit of rain again overnight, so it's, I mean, it's still overcast outside yet. They are saying we're going to get a lot more rye. SES have been out again on about 400, I think it was about 400 calls SES had. We managed to get on top of them. I done another full day the other day, went late into the night, and we got through quite a few roof repairs, leaking water. A lot of the homes are not fixed from the bad hailstorm that we had, where we had the giant sized hailstones. A lot of the homes aren't fixed yet, so now because there's so many temporary repairs in place, a lot of the temporary repairs, because it's been a while now, a lot of those temporary repairs are actually starting to come adrift now as well, and you know, homes are being exposed to leaks again. So then it's a case of going out and doing another lot of repairs, you know. So yeah, so it's pretty tough on some people at the moment up here that have been impacted by the massive hailstorm we had. But like I said, they're working through it, they're getting through them, so that's the good part. I mean, I did visit some homes the other day when I was on activation. I did visit some homes where the ceilings inside had collapsed because they had taken on too much water. And then the ceiling insulation soaks up the water like a sponge, and then they just get too heavy and then they just collapse. That's looking quite nice there. Now we'll just have to probably relieve the bottom section a bit so we can do a bit of work on the bottom as well. And we'll probably need to go a bit thinner in there, but let's have a look and see if we can see any colour in this. Oh yeah, there's a bit of colour in it. Probably won't see much of the colour changing pigment. We might see some once it starts to polish up, but we're not going to see much of it there. But yeah, it's looking quite nice actually. Very subtle, but there's some nice colour in there. So yeah, we'll see what we get, eh? So I'm going to have to go in here, try and get that fairly close to the chuck. I'm going to drop it down so I can come in with the parting tool a bit more. And then I'm going to relieve that a little bit. Not got a lot of material left to relieve, but I think that should be fine. Okay. Bring the tool rest out and we'll bring it up. See, maybe a bit there. Lock it off. We'll relieve that as much as we can. It's not a lot of material there, so I can't relieve it much, to be honest, but now we'll bring that back a bit and we'll try and do a little bit on the bottom. As the bottom stays relatively square anyway, doesn't slightly rounded to the bottom, but we don't take a lot of material off there. And that's probably enough. And then I think the rest we'll take out with the carbide until we get a final shape that we're happy with. So, have we got anybody else in the stream yet? Not yet? No. No, I'm not bloody good at jokes, Brett, to be honest. Never have been. Right, let me see where my... That's it, that's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in from the bottom here where I've set this point here, which is the widest point at the bottom, and I want to cut that back in now into that handle shape so that we get a definite hole spot there for the fingertips. It needs a lot more yet, but that's the idea there of taking that in like that now. And we'll keep doing that until we're happy with the shape. And we feel we've got a nice amount of handle to get a decent grip on. Set that there for now. That's not too bad. Going a little bit more yet. I'm starting to like that, probably a little bit more. And all I'm doing there is just cleaning that up slightly. And I think we're done there now. So we'll drop this down a touch again. And then we'll come up and just touch up that bottom section a little tiny little bit, just to get a nice finish on it. And we might just go a little bit there, and we'll put a little bit of a cream on there, a little bit, touch more, just a touch. And that should do it, I think. Just trying to work out whether it's thin enough there now, or if I need to take a little bit more. I'm thinking a little bit more here, but that's fine, Amber. We'll catch you next time, eh? So yeah, just a little bit more shape there. Maybe even a little bit more. And I think that is probably going to do us. I'll just sweeten that away now. And the rest of that we'll get with the sandpaper, I think. So we should be able to slow that down, and we should be able to take the tail stock away. Oh geez, it is going to get some nice colour in it, this one. I think we'll really see it once it polishes up. I can leave that in. Oh, I'll take it out in case I bump my elbow on it. Yeah, I think we're going to get some lovely colour in this actually. Looking at that, it's going to be a nice light colour, but nonetheless we're going to get a little bit of a flash of colour here and there with the dual pigment, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get a little bit of the chameleon showing as well. That would be nice if we can get a little bit of that showing. That would just be absolutely superb. I'm getting a little piece of foam for a sec. Yep. Right, give the top a bit of a sand up. I'm thinking we might need a little bit more round on the very top. But I should be able to do that without the tail stop. I think it just needs a little bit more rounding on that top edge. Just a tad, not a lot, just a tad. And that'll probably do it. Get rid of that guy for a sec. Alright, finish off with the sanding grits now. Might put the fan on, guys. It's starting to warm up in here, gang. With all the rain and the heat, it's just humid, humid, humid. I'm still flushing water out of the workshop, which is a pain. So I think it's just down to me and you again, Brett, until Sam drops in. And oh, and that was the other thing I'm doing tonight, is I'm trying I've changed the streaming settings back onto the high setting. Still 1080p 60 frames, but just on the high setting. So I thought I'd try that tonight, and we'll just see how the stream goes as well, whether it holds together on that setting again. Because that was what we were streaming on originally for about six months or so, and you know, we never really had any issues really. So I've put it back onto that setting, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try, and we'll see how that goes, see how YouTube responds, and whether my internet stays stable enough. So we're 35 minutes in, and so far so good on the higher setting. So the data rate that we're outputting from the encoder is about 9 to 9.1 megabytes a second. Like, it fluctuates between 8.96 to 9.17, which is fine. And I've done an internet speed test on the upload again tonight before I started streaming, and it was showing at about 35, so that's more than enough, providing it stays stable. So yeah, so time will tell. Let's keep the fingers crossed and hope that it holds together okay. No, can't go with that. Just need to be by hand. So you getting an early mark tonight, Brett, or are you still busy, mate? Well, if you're driving, don't worry about answering me, mate. You can answer me when you get a chance. It's no big deal. Yeah, so like I said, I'm quite looking forward to seeing this one, how this one turns out when it's all cleaned up. It's going to be very light, but I think the splash of colour in it's going to be quite nice, I think. Let's say it should be a very refreshing looking colour anyway. Could even be one for the ladies, actually. Guys would probably like it too, I suppose. Gone are the days where certain colours were attached to women and certain colours were attached to men. I mean, it's free for all now, isn't it? Music might be a little bit loud. I'll just turn that down one notch. We'll see how that goes. And I just want to try and get up on that little top of that little ring there, just so that we can make sure there's no deep scratches or marks in there. It's looking good. Yeah, should be good, I think. So Ryan's away out with one of his old mates tonight, away at the gym, doing some workouts. He was out there last night as well. He likes catching up with his old mates that he unfortunately doesn't get to spend a lot of time with now, being in the Navy based in Sydney, but I'll give him that. When he gets up here, it's one of the first things he wants to do is go and catch up with all these old mates. And as you can see, I'm quite liking this shite, so I think there'll be more of this shape to come. But this will be about the third one we've done in a row now, so we'll maybe change it up for the next ones. And we'll have to do a bit more casting as well at some stage, but I'm probably going to stream through until nearer Christmas. I won't be doing the Christmas Eve stream though, so the one before that will probably be the last one for the year. And then we'll stream some fresh ones in for in the new year, but we'll give everybody plenty notice on what the plans are for that, and we'll take it from there. Just get my little foam pad again. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it, you know, you can't get it in position quite right to make it work properly, but for this one, for this type of shape, it seems to work okay most of the time. And then we'll put it that way, and we'll try and get a little bit into that, just the top edge of that ring. That seems to do the job. It's shaping up nicely. Okay, I might just throw up the subscribe button on the bottom left there of the screen, just for anybody that comes in and watches the stream after. Really appreciate the likes, the subscribes, and click the bell to be notified anytime new videos go up, or anytime I go live. It'll notify you, and if you've got the time to watch, you can, and if not, well, you can watch it later. So I've turned the fan on, the big industrial fan, I've turned that on to 1, just to try and move a little bit of air, but over here, because of all the camera lights, the light boxes and everything, I'm not really getting too much of that. So I'll just grin and bear it. I don't think it's going to be a long stream tonight, maybe a couple of hours or so. Considering we're still on the sanding, still got a couple of dry grits to go yet before we go on to wet. But then the latter part all happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? It's all the sanding that takes the time. Dry sanding and then the wet sanding. But the end results are usually worth it, so that's why we do this. It's starting to come up nicely, so hopefully we end up with a nice finished result. Hopefully. G'day Ryan. Cobbs, how are you, buddy? Quiet evening this evening, Mark. Come in if you want. Oh, you're right. I just got Ryan over here. He's just come back from his little training outing. So far this one's very light in colour. I just hope I get the finish that I'm expecting from it with the colours. It's looking promising thus far. So I'll just give that grit a hand sand now just to get any radial marks out. We've got one more dry grit to go after this one, and then I'll get on the wets, and that's when we'll really start to see the colour. Well, I'm hoping we'll get to see the colour that I'm looking for in the casting. So we've got a mix of dual red, which has a touch of blue in it. So it's not a real strong colour. It's more of a sort of opally type colour on its own. But red and blue predominantly. But I've also put some colour changing pigment in with that in this one, which tends to be used more for coating surfaces to get the proper colour change. So you would apply that to, say, a piece of burl or something like that, and that would have a dark background behind it or a light background behind it, and then you would attach that, you'd mix up that colour pigment with resin, and then you'd paint it onto something and then cast clear over the top of something like what I do with my colour changing chameleon ones with the burls, the hybrids. But what I've done with this one was I actually cast some of the colour changing pigment into some clear resin, and I put that into the mix with this duo red and blue. So I'm hoping that we get some colour changing through it, even if it's just very faint. Yeah, no worries, Cobbs, mate. You do what you've got to do, mate. I hope the movie's a good one. Aye, I'll drink. So we'll get through this grit. Yeah, so this one's getting fitted with a 28mm cashmere. Synthetic. And I think the light colour of the handle with the lightness of the cashmere should look quite nice together, I think. And it'll allow the colour of the handle to take over, because it is quite faint as well. So How'd your training go, Ryan? All right?
Yeah, it was good. Just a night's work, yeah, and then a 2.4 after it.
Yeah.
2.4.
So we'll just go in there with a little bit of hand now, just to make sure we've got no ringing up above that band. I like that to be nice and clear and defined, and that's looking pretty good. So we can go on to the last script now. And then we'll change over to the soft touch pads with the water, sand it wet. And that's when we should hopefully see the colour pop out, or what colour is in it anyway. Like I said, it's not a strong one on colour, this one. It'll be quite subtle, but it should be quite nice. Okay. It's warm, eh? It's gone really muggy again. Oh, the rain. Yeah, it's still pretty overcast, pretty dark and overcast, isn't it? Yeah, we're either in bushfires, or we're in a drought, or we're in floods. So it's we can't win. But yeah, I mean, the predicted we were going to get a lot of rain with the El Nino, so I guess they got it right. It's going to go on for a while yet, they reckon, too. It's not something that's going to end real soon. So our wet season is definitely here in a big way. Yeah, I'm really liking this. Wait till we hit it with the wets in a minute. Right. That should do it. So I'll move these dry sanding grits out the way for now, because we'll use them to finish off the bottom of the handle once we part it off and put our hole in it for the medallion. But in the meantime, I'm going to start wet sanding it. So I've got some fresh water here. and we'll start the work. So we'll keep the speed down. We don't need a lot of speed to sand and wet sand. And the colour is going to be a light, it's going to be very light, so like I said, I think the cashmere is going to look nice in it. So we'll give it a little touch by hand now. I can't remember what colour changing pigment it was I used either. I can't remember, I think it might have been purple, green, gold, and I think there might have been another colour in it as well, but I don't know if we're going to get to see much of that. It was just a spur of the moment thing that I thought I'd try with a colour changing one. But once we get it properly sanded and polished, that's when we'll really see if there is any colour changing in it. And again, different lighting will show different things as well. Which is something I've really noticed with the colour changing pigments. The different lighting tends to enhance it more or restrict it more. Depending on the type of light. So that'll do that for the brown one, I think. We'll get onto the green one now. I do like the shape, and it's pretty grippy in the hand. Even different ways of holding it, it's very grippy, just with the shape. Yeah, we are going to see a bit of colour changing in it, I think. It's going to be very subtle, but we are going to see it, I think. Like, it's not going to be a drastic change in colour, but I think we're going to see hints of colour. which is what I thought we might get anyway. I didn't think it was ever going to be really strong colour changing because it, like I said, it tends to be used in a different application rather as casting like how we've done it. But if I can get a little bit of it showing through, I'll be happy. There's a little speck there. Just want to see if we can either remove that or reduce it, one of the two. That's better. On to the next one. So I think we're back down to 2 viewers, so I think it's just you and I, Brett. No, we picked it up. Yeah, I'm really liking this. Okay, mate, I'll see you when I come in. Yeah, she's starting to colour, starting to see a bit of colour push through in it now. The lighter areas are where we're going to see the colour changing, and the darker areas are the dual red and blue. So it's one powder, but it throws 2 colours. And the chameleon powder is the same, but I think the one I used on this one throws about, well, if it was done properly, it throws, I think it's 3 or 4 colours, I think 4 actually, from memory. Got a sort of marbly look to it, this one. So just working my way through the wets now. So we've got about another 4 to go after this one, and then we'll be finished with the wets. Then I can turn it around and put it in a different chuck. We'll part it off, drill the hole in the bottom for the medallion. Then we'll set the medallion and we'll set the cashmere knot to finish. So this is the hard part, the time-consuming part, is the dry sanding and the wet sanding. Once we get to the bottom doesn't take too long to sand and wet sand, because we're only really working on a small section. So it's pretty quick to get through that, generally. It's all the main proper handle sanding, both dry and wet, that takes the time. Turning the handle doesn't take much time at all. I mean, you can turn the handle fairly quickly, but it's all the finishing work that comes thereafter that takes the time. Right, next grit. And you can feel it's getting smoother and smoother because the pads tend to, as we get finer and finer in the grits, and obviously the material gets more and more sanded, the pads tend to just slide across the surface. Okay, last 2 grits to go in the wets. Yeah, it is looking nice actually, mate. I think once it's polished, it'll really come into its own too, I think we're going to start to see the colour come out a little bit more. I mean, the colour's always going to be faint in this one, but I knew that anyway. But I wanted that colour changing just to try and put a little tinge of colour change in it. And I think it's done it, but whether we'll get the full spectrum of the 4 colours, I'm not sure. I don't think we will, because I think the red and blue are probably going to have overpowered the majority of it. I'm seeing a little bit of gold here and there, which I know gold was one of the colours in it, but you're only going to see it under certain lights, I think. But I think there is definitely going to be colour change in this one. I mean, I can see colour change, but these lights tend to wash everything out too, the photographic lights. So I think once it's out of this sort of artificial camera type lighting, I think it will look even better, being honest. But yeah, it's looking nice. I'm pleased with it, put it that way. Oh, you've dropped them off, okay. So is that it for you for tonight then, mate? Or you be heading back earlier than normal, or? As long as you don't get stuck in that traffic chaos with the accident, if it was a bad accident. Yeah, it's got some nice swirl in it. Like I said, the dual colours blue and red, but I think they would have both sort of intermingled with one another to a certain extent. And I know the colour changing one had purple in it, was one of the colours. I think gold was another colour. I just can't remember what the other colours were in the colour changing one. But I am seeing different colours in it, so it's put the effect in that I was hoping to get. I would have just liked to see probably a little bit more, but it's hard to tell under this light too. I could be totally surprised when I take it out of here and go inside under the LED lights, and sometimes in the natural daylight as well. It looks totally different again, and I think this is going to be one of those ones that's going to be like that. But it does look nice. Very different, put it that way. And like I said, with a nice light cashmere in it, I think it'll highlight the colour in the handle more, you know. Right, I'm just going to stick them there. I'll have a drink of water just to hydrate. It's a bit better. And we'll give that a little bit of a dry off with a paper towel. Get in the grooves just to dry them up a bit. And there we go. Yeah, so there's, just let me zoom in on that as best I can. It's probably still not good under these lights though, but there's a fair bit of colour in it and a fair bit of swirl. So anyway, we'll see what it's like when it's all polished up. Hopefully it should be quite nice. So we'll swap over, we'll get ready to part off the bottom and then set up for the medallion. That's good. Get that reasonably tight. That's pretty good. And we'll bring the tool rest in. In and probably out a little bit. And then we'll put the live center in, just to secure the bottom. So we'll put that on, bring that in, lock it off, give it a little bit of support. Speed it up a little bit, and then we'll go in and part that off. Nearly there, that's it, we're gone. Not a lot of waste. You can see there's all the waste we got off it. So we've got the blank size just down pat now, so we're not wasting resin. Get that back out the picture for now. And now we'll set up to get ready for the bottom, but we'll drill the bottom out first. So we'll slow that back down, probably about there, somewhere there. And we'll use the 25mm Forstner bit for the medallion. And we'll bring the tailstock back up nice and gently. And we'll put a hole in. There we go. What was that one, mate? Oh, Razor's in. I didn't notice Razor was in. Sorry, Razor. I never acknowledged you were even in there, mate. I didn't see you. Yeah, Corbs is watching a movie, I think, might be with the family. He's just dropping in every now and again, just to see what's happening. And I think that'll do us for the coin. So we'll bring this in now and we'll just clean that bottom up a little bit. Speed it up a bit to start with. And we'll clean the bottom with this one to start. that's all we need there. Now we'll just soften up the sharp edge on the inside. And that's all we need there. And we can slow that back down. Get rid of this now. I'll move that camera back in a touch as well so you can actually see what's going on properly there, but it'll do there for now, I think, just until we clean this up. So we've got a little bit of an undercut in that, and then we just sweeten that back into the handle so we haven't got a sharp edge there. And then all I'm going to do with that is just give that a little touch of a hand, just to make sure we've got no radial marks in it again like we do with the handle. And then we'll hit it with the wets. Ah, all good, Razor. No, just I missed you coming in, mate. That's all. I normally see you coming in, or see people coming in, but I missed you, mate. So welcome back. You've come back just in time because we're just finishing off now. We're through all the boring part of the sanding and just sanding this bottom bit ready for the coin and buffing and polishing, and then we're right to go. I'm just going to make sure that I've got no sort of bad radial marks in the shape, because they're hard to get out after. You can't really get them out after. You need to get them out now. So I think I might go a little bit more on that actually. I'm not 100% happy with the, oh, it has got enough undercut. Just I wasn't real happy with that round there, but I think it's actually okay. I'll just give it another little bit of a touch up. That's better. I think the grit's almost had it too, I think. Because I used that on the handle, but we'll get it this time. That should be it. Right, let's get the wets again. Just to give the bottom its final touch up. And then we're good to go. Yeah, cashmere in this one, mate. I was explaining earlier in the stream, I think because the cashmere is so light, and this handle's quite light in colour, and there's a bit of that sort of off-white, opally, pearly sort of colour in this as well. So I think by putting the cashmere in it, I think that the cashmere will actually let the colour of the handle show more. You know, it'll put the emphasis back onto the handle as opposed to being all about the knot, you know. So I think that'll have a better outcome. So that's the way I'm going to go. And I think that'll have a better outcome on the overall look of the handle for sure. Well, like I said, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Music was looking very low there. It might be a quiet track. Grey Dog, how are you, mate? Streams are all back to normal again from what I can see. I've also put the settings back up to the high setting on the 1080p 60 frames. So the stream's been running flawlessly so far, never missed a beat. We never missed a beat in the last ones either, but that was still on the medium setting. So I thought tonight I would try it back on the high setting, and so far so good. So hopefully that little issue that we had with the loose connection in the box on the house, hopefully that has done the trick. Something so simple. So yeah, so hopefully we've fixed the internet woes. I know it was frustrating the hell out of me, and I know it would frustrate you guys as viewers as well, because I've watched streams like that myself and you think, oh, this is just crazy. But like I said, hopefully we've got it sorted now. Fingers crossed. But that's been the last 2 or 3 streams we've done. I think 3 now we've done, and it's held up fine. So till the next time. So we're nearly ready to take this over to the buff and start buffing it, and I think that's when we're really going to see this colour pop out. Once this gets, because it's still got a bit of a matte to it at the moment with the sanding, but once we get it on the buffer, I think that's when the colours will pop a little bit more. Just subtle, very subtle. And that'll do it. So I'll just get rid of this water on this rag. I'll lay my pads out so they don't get any worse for wear than what they are. Right. Give that a little bit of a dry now. That'll do that. And we'll take it out of the chuck now. We'll leave the chuck in because we'll come back and put a bit of polish on that. So I don't know, still a bit of water and crap on it. I don't know if you're going to see the colour very well under these lights. Like I say, they tend to wash everything out, but maybe once we get it glossed up. I'm seeing different colours in it, but it's not as, the colour change is not as strong as what I would have liked to have seen, but I know that it's an issue with those colour pigments because they don't like being mixed in resins. They're more so for applying to the surface of materials, dark surfaces or light surfaces. But anyway, we'll continue on with the buffing of this guy. And we'll take it from there. It is showing promise. It's showing very, very nice promise actually. Try and buff all the grooves and hard to get surfaces first, and then we'll go over the main section of the handle next. So you do the top and the bottom of each groove. Oh yeah, I'm seeing under this light here, I'm seeing different colours again. So it is really going to be light dependent. I'm seeing blue, gold, tinges of green, and that's the colour changing ones. That was the other colours. And then we've got the duo pigment in it as well, which is the red blue. So between the duo and the colour changing, I think we might have a nice mix here actually. Yeah, it's come up nice. Okay, that'll do that. Now we'll do the bottom. Nice. Now we'll give the main part of the handle a nice buff up now. See how that comes up. Oh yeah, colours are coming out now. Ah, looks wonderful. I don't think these cameras will pick it up though. Try this side, it's a little bit rounder. Oh yeah, really starting to see the colour changing pigment showing this now with the different colours, and that's a good thing because I know what's showing now, because the other one, like I said, was a dual red with a touch of blue, so dual red and blue, but I'm seeing other colours in here now that are obviously coming from the colour changing pigment. Yeah, lovely. Okay, we'll go to the Fabulister. So I'll put a little bit of Fabulister on here. And then we'll give this a nice polish up now. So I'll do the same again. I'll concentrate on the grooves first. Both sides, top and bottom of each groove. And it's very light pressure with this one. The other one you can lay in it a bit more, but it has more of a cutting compound, where this one's a fine buff and a polish. Okay, that's the top sections of each one done, so we'll go to the bottom one now, each one. It's nice, do the top one. Put a little bit more on. Now we'll do the top of the ring section. This is really stunning, it really is. Right. I went a little bit hard on the bottom ring with the other buffer, so I'm just going to spend a little bit more time with this one, just to get out any marks that we had in from the other one. That's better. Yeah, much better. That's coming up nice now. A little bit more. Yep. That's where we need it to be. Right, now we'll just do the main section of the handle. You see the colours in this, Ryan? Aye.
Looks real different from the colour you have from the...
You see the colours in it?
Yeah.
See the green, the blue, the gold.
Different shades of pink too.
Yep. Alright, let me just do this top section now. Now I just need to do inside the hollow section. Okay, that'll do us. Like I said, I don't know whether you're going to see the colour in these lights, but anyway, we'll put it back on here, we'll hit it with a bit of polish. Yeah, I think the lights are washing it out straight away. I can see it, I can still see the colour in it, it's beautiful. Right, Let's put a little bit of Plastex on that, eh? And I'll get the epoxy while I'm here. There we go. Give this a good shake. Can you see that? I don't think you can see the colour in that shot, can you? In the handle. You'll see some of the colour, some of the sort of purplish lilac, well, I wouldn't say it's lilac, but sort of purpley, reddy sort of colour. Well, all the other stuff is the multicolour. That's the colour changing. And it's colour changing certainly under the lights, under the buffer, that's for sure. But these lights are just washing it out, as usual. Yeah, he's up here for the Christmas, Grey Dog. That's my youngest son that's in the Australian Navy. So he's here for, I think, the best part of 4 weeks. So I'll have Christmas, and my older son's coming up, but he's not going to get up until Christmas Eve. So we'll have both the boys home for this Christmas. Normally we go down to Sydney to see them. Sydney's like 11 hours, somewhere around about there, drive from where we are. So he drove up a couple of days ago. He dropped in the stream the other night when we were streaming. We had a few of the guys in, so he come in and said goodbye. And that was him just dropping in there before, keeping an eye on me, checking my progress. As you can see, he doesn't need a razor or a shaving brush though. Yeah, there's some beautiful colour in it. Really is nice. That's the trouble. The trouble is getting the right lights to take the photographs, because even when I put them in the light tent, a lot of the time they still don't show the proper colours. I don't know how to make that better, but anyway. Because it'd be nice for people to actually see the true colour, you know what I mean? Like, photographs are great, but if you could capture the colour in a lot of them. It's like the holographic, glittery type stuff that doesn't show in the photographs very well. But when you see it in the blank and you're holding it in your hand under different lights, it just looks spectacular. All right, I'll speed it up a bit now and just give it a final bit of a polish up, bit of a buff. And we'll slow it down, and that should do it. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, the colours in it, honestly, I wish you could see it. It's magnificent. I'm really pleased with the way the colours have taken to that. You might see more when I hold it up nearer to the camera for the reveal. We might see a little bit more then. We'll have to wait and see. Either that or it will be in the photographs and the video clip that I put up on Instagram. Hopefully one of them will show it up for what it is. I sometimes think that the little 30-second video shows more too, because it's rotating, and when it's rotating the light captures it slightly differently from different angles as well, so you get a little bit more in that. But again, the tent lights tend to knock a lot of stuff out as well. But anyway, trust me, it's got some beautiful colour in it, this one. Stunning. It's actually got more colour in it than what I thought it was going to have. I thought it was going to be real light initially. So like I said, it has got more in it than I thought it was going to have. Right, we'll take it out, sit it there. I think it will have to be another antique silver in this one, I think. I don't think the antique brass would look the part at all. So get rid of that. So that's just got our coin. We've got the knot. The knot's been sanded and had a bit of a wipe. We've got the handle there. I'll go to camera 3 for you and we'll zoom out again a bit, just so that you can see what we're doing. Hopefully that's enough for you. Yeah, they do, Grey Dog. I mean, even the timber ones are the same, aren't they? I mean, sometimes you can capture a timber one just right, but the majority of the time with the resins, with the colours, you really need to see them in the hand. You can try as much as you like to try and capture the colours, but you don't always necessarily catch them for what they are. But I did think this one was going to be a lot lighter with less colour in it. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's turned out, actually. It's closer to what I was expecting to get than what I thought we were going to get, you know. So I'm happy with that. So just mix up this epoxy. The epoxy is quite thin again, so just with the heat, so we'll try and not waste too much time. It went off on us pretty quick that last time when we had the real warm temp. Okay, I think that'll do us for that. So we'll get the coin in there. Beautiful. Let's give that a bit of a press in. We've got a little bit of ooze out there, not too much. So we'll give that a little bit of time. And in the meantime, we'll get the knot in. And we'll get a little bit of methylated spirits here so we can clean up. Actually, I might clean that up a little bit now so that I don't get glue anywhere else on the handle. So just bear with me, guys, till I do a little bit of work on cleaning up the bottom here. Because there is a fair amount of epoxy came out of that. I like to see a little bit, but not too much. There's There's probably more come out of that than I would normally get, so I must have overdone it. That should do us for now. We'll come back to it once we get the knot set. Just a little bit too much there. I think that'll do it. Yep, that should do it, I think. Okay, set the knot, finish with that. Yep, she's properly home. I think it was about 56, I think, 56 I think we had. Yeah, 56, so she's home. Right, so we're all good round the handle, so we got that part right. We're just going to make sure we get all the epoxy off the bottom. So we'll get rid of that now. We'll give this a wipe off. And that epoxy is starting to harden a little bit now, but we've got the worst of it off the bottom, so I'll use a clean cloth too so we don't get any more anywhere. And I'll just get rid of that for now and just put that up for a few seconds while I take the last of this epoxy off the off my hand and off my, that's better, and off my handle here. The coin's pretty much set in place now, so it's really just a case of making sure we've given it a good rub to get any residue epoxy away. And that's it. Okay, we're done. So I'll bring it closer up to the cameras and we'll see if we can see the colour any better. I think the light is going to wash it out though, but we'll see how we go. We may get a little splash of colour here and there, so it may just let you see the effect. Right, so thanks again guys, thanks for the support, much appreciated. Razor, Sam, Brett, T-Man. Okay. So let me take you to camera 3 first, the overhead one. And we'll see if we can get some of that colour to show in that shot. And I don't think it is going to. I don't think the colour's going to show. There's about 3 or 4 different colours in there. Actually 4 I think. I'm just trying to see if I can get the light to catch it different wise. Closer and further away from the camera. No, you're still not getting to see all the colours, which is a real shame. Anyway, let me try the other, let me try camera 2 for you and we'll see if we can see anything in there any differently. So it's pretty washed out there. Nah, too washed out. We're actually getting closer to the lights there as well. The colour in it is unbelievable. It's probably more, I'd say it's probably more purple than pink. But the other colours that you can see under the other light is just phenomenal. And that's the that's obviously the colour changing pigment coming through in it. But anyway, that's it fellas for tonight. Where are we? We're at just over 2 hours for this one, so that's not too bad. The stream's held up well on the high settings, so I think our internet is all good and back to normal now. And there's a nice little 28mm cashmere and a beautiful little handle with the custom TF shaving brushes in the bottom there. You won't see much there though, colour, because that's right up near where the lights are. But anyway, that's it. I'll take some photographs in the light tent. I'll take a little 30-second video and I'll put it up on TF Custom Shaving Brushes Instagram page so you can actually have a look at it there. Maybe the little 30-second video clip might let you see it better and let you see the colours in it as it revolves under the lights. But anyway, that's it for me tonight, guys. So you guys have a good rest of the week. Keep yourselves out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Stay safe, take care, and I'll get it right tonight. Hopefully we'll see you on Saturday morning with the next stream. I don't think I've got one scheduled in yet, so I'll find something and I'll schedule it in over the next day or so. And well, it'll actually have to be tomorrow probably, ready for Saturday morning, or Friday night I can set it up. So we'll find something to do. I do have other handles and other cast blanks that we still haven't finished yet. But anyway, I'll find something. We'll try and find something interesting, and we'll lock that in for Saturday morning. So anyway, like I say, take care, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your week. The weekend's not far away now, so hang in there, and we'll see you Saturday morning, So from me at TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop, cheers, we'll see you Saturday.